Another week of the NFL is in the books, but the biggest news broke this morning as the Las Vegas Raiders finally traded Davante Adams to the New York Jets, reunited Adams with his former quarterback and current GM of the New York Jets, joking, Aaron Rodgers. So let's go ahead and get into the details of the trade, and then we can talk about what it means for both teams. But Davante Adams, he is heading to New York, and the Raiders, they're going to receive a conditional third-round pick. Now, this can improve to a second-round pick if Adams becomes a first or second-team All-Pro this season. I feel like that might not be very likely considering he's missed some time with a hamstring injury, but that's just my opinion. Or if he is on the Jets active roster for the AFC Championship game or the big game itself, which, I mean, if you're the GM for the Jets, Joe Douglas, then this is kind of your shot. You've built this team to be in a Super Bowl window. So the idea is to make it to the Super Bowl, or at least make it to the AFC Championship game. So, and this is probably your last hurrah. You're probably gone after the season if this doesn't work. You're probably gone after the bye if this doesn't work, because we're going to get into their upcoming schedule. Because currently sitting at 4-2, playoffs doesn't seem likely, but there is a path, of course. There certainly is. You don't make this move unless there's a path. Well, you make this move if you're desperate, and I feel like that's what the Jets are right now. Because think about it, you built this team. You go out, you get Aaron Rodgers. For goodness sake, you pay Allen Lazard. But you bring in some offensive line pieces after the injury to Aaron last season. The defense, you bring in Hassan Reddick. Has that gone well? No, is what it is. But, you have this fierce defense. You felt like you should be, that you had a shot this year. And it's been anything but. That's why Robert Saleh is now gone. But I still think there is hope. And another thing to add in here, and this is more so for the Raiders, but the Jets are going to assume the balance of Adams' remaining salary. Adams' salary for this season is $17.5 million, with approximately $11.59 million still owed through the end of the season. So the Jets are going to take on that. And while he is under contract for 2025 and 2026, his annual salary will jump to $36.25 million for each of those seasons. The Raiders, however, will carry a dead cap charge of $13.67 million in 2024 and $15.7 million in 2025. So that's more important for the Raiders, but this is the last hoorah. Things haven't gone exactly how you expected for the Jets if you're the front office. It just hasn't. Hassan Reddick, that trade, that's looking stupid now. Is he ever going to get into the building? Probably not. He probably ends up getting moved or traded. Unfortunately, at the edge position, you had Jermaine Johnson go down. So now it's like, oh, no, okay, our pass rush isn't what we expected it to be this season. That's rough. That sucks. On top of that, the run defense hasn't been particularly great this season. For goodness sake, Ray Davis, rookie out of Kentucky, almost ran for like 100 yards last night. It was like 96 or something. So yeah, defense not looking as fearsome as it has the prior years under Saleh/Ulbrich, because Ulbrich's been with Saleh for dating back to his time in San Fran. Offensively, Tyrone Smith probably had his worst game in quite some time. Didn't look great. The offensive line not feeling as good. Offensively, you don't feel like you're able to run the football consistently. You feel like Aaron's constantly under pressure, and it's not gelling. It's just not gelling. So this is a Hail Mary heave. Aaron hit a Hail Mary last night. Not that it got him a win or anything. It didn't. But this is kind of a Hail Mary heave that that you're kind of hoping will pay off, because adding Adams is pretty huge. You have a very scary wide receiver core with Garrett Wilson, Davante Adams. You got Alan Lazard there. Mike Williams is still there, but I mean, him and Aaron haven't really been on the same wavelength this season. Breece Hall, still a scary threat out of the backfield. Tyler Conklin, hella solid. So, like, there's still a chance here. Let's actually go take a gander at the remaining schedule for the New York Jets, as they are currently 2-4. And I feel like Joe Douglas's season will be decided by the bye, because I feel like they have to go in the next 5 games. They have to win 4 of those. So I feel like maybe it's more important to talk about the back end after the bye, because it's not like it's the craziest schedule, but you're already in a hole at 4-2. And I don't think 9-8 is going to cut it and get you into the playoffs. It might get you into the playoffs in the AFC. It might, but like 10-7, you feel in a lot safer with. So that's kind of the target, which means to get to 10-7, you're going to have to go 8-3. Is it attainable? Let's go ahead and discuss. Everybody loves the NFL draft, and I know you want to be familiar with every potential prospect that your team may draft. So I got good news for you. My draft guide is available for purchase. It is good throughout the entire draft cycle, and it updates through the season regularly. You'll get my current evals and rankings on hundreds of different players with player backgrounds and analytics. It also contains combine and pro day numbers, as well as my notes from the Senior and Shrine Bowl. You can purchase it for a one-time payment of $30 on PayPal, Venmo, and now I have the Cash App. Follow the link in the description, and be sure to include your email, because it is a Google spreadsheet. That is how I share it with you. So please don't make me hunt down your email. Just don't do it. Anywho, it's a great purchase, and it's a great way to support the channel. So looking at this back end slate, I think 4-2 is very reasonable for the Jets to go. I think coming off your bye, you get a home game, you face in Seattle. They started the year 3-0, 3 straight losses now. Feel like that's a winnable game. Dolphins, that's such a crazy variable. Will Tua be back? Who knows? I think it's fair to give the Jets a split, because they'll face the Dolphins twice after their bye. So let's give the Dolphins a home win and the Jets the win in the season finale. You got the Rams. They're going to be healthier this year, but I feel like they're probably going to be out of it. That's a home game for you. Great. Jags. Doug Pearson might be fired at this point, so that feels like a winnable game. Buffalo's always going to be tough. This one's going to be in Buffalo. I feel like looking at those 6 games, 4-2 is very reasonable. 4-2 is very reasonable. You might want to push it to 5-1, but I think 4-2 is a safe projection. That would put the Jets at 6-6, which means you need to go 4-1 in the next 5 games prior to your bye, which is also very possible with games against the Patriots. I know Drake May looked good, but that's still not a great Patriots squad. The Cardinals, they're defunct. That should be a win. The Colts, it's kind of a question mark, but I think that's a winnable game. And then the Steelers, you get the Steelers this week, which they might be turning things over to Russell Wilson. And offensively, it's not like they've been all that hot. So I think those are the 4 winnable games there, with another game against the Texans. You get it at home, but I think the Texans are a hard team to beat. So I think that 10-7 is definitely attainable, but I think it means you have to go 4-1 now up until your bye. Like 3-2, I just don't think we'll cut it. I just don't think it will cut it. So I think 2 or more losses prior to your bye week probably means, all right, Joe Douglas, you're going to be gone. Sorry, not sorry. So that's where I see it, at least from the Jets standpoint. When it comes to the Raiders, listen, guys, this is a team that They're acquiring draft capital. They're looking to get cheaper. They're looking to get younger. That's just where it is. You're in technically year one of Antonio Pierce. So, hey, this is their prime focus is going to be developing parts. I mean, they have some significant guys injured on that defense, and Christian Wilkins just hopped on IR last week. Marcus Epps tore his ACL, gone for the year a couple of weeks prior to that. Malcolm Kuntz missing the year. That was before the season. I don't think they're going to move on from Max Crosby. There have been trade rumors out there. Listen, he's got a Raiders tattoo on him. He's a Raider for life. I think he wants to be a Raider for life. I think he is a Raider for life. I'm not worried about that. I think the defense, they feel confident and good. While, yes, there's probably areas they can upgrade, it's not as much as the offense. You look at the offense, yeah, let's acquire this draft capital because we plan on going in on the offense this offseason. And now, well, moving Adams, you're just going to give other guys, other younger players more opportunities. So this year, it may suck for Raiders fans to hear in this, but all in all, I think this season is not going to be one where they're going to be winning very many games, and that's probably going to be the plan. Probably going to be the plan, and that's A-okay. But before we get to my power rankings, I want to tell you about our friends at Underdog Fantasy. If you download the Underdog Fantasy app right now and sign up using promo code BROSHMO, they will match that first deposit up to $250. It's the best place to play weekly best ball, or my favorite, higher or lower on player stats. That's right. And they're always giving you free promos each and every day, whether it's a free pick on, hey, will this player go higher or lower 1 yard? They got you covered, and it's not just football. They got all kinds of sports. Shoot, when it comes to baseball, we're in the ALCS and the NLCS. So if you want to get in on the action, then check out Underdog Fantasy. Sign up and use promo code BROSHMO, and they will match that first deposit up to $250. But as always, play responsibly, play within your means. All right, it's time to piss everyone off with some power rankings. How I do this is I have 5 different tiers. We have your legit Super Bowl contenders being the tippity of the top. You got your playoff caliber teams I think will make the playoffs. 99.23% sure on that. You got your playoff chasers, teams that are going to be in the playoff race, but I'm not convinced that they are playoff caliber teams essentially. You got your plucky underdogs, teams that can potentially win some games, but all in all, they're probably not a winning team or a team that's going to vie for the playoffs. And then your bottom of the barrel teams that are just bad. And we're going to start there. We're going to start with the bad teams. And of course, though they looked promising this week, I'm going to put the New England Patriots there. It's just, offensively, Drake May looked great. That's awesome, but they're not going to be a good team this year. Offensive line's kind of a mess, but it was nice to see that some of the playmakers for the Patriots were able to take some of that pressure off of Drake May. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to look that good each and every week, but at least there were some promising signs, even in a loss to the Texans there. And let me tell you, it was a meaty loss. They lost 41-21. So let's not pretend like Patriots, Drake May looked good. They're suddenly a good team. They're not. Next on the list at 31, I'm going to put the Miami Dolphins. They had a bye this week. Listen, until Tua's healthy, the offense sucks and everything hurts. That's just the facts of being a Dolphins fan right now. Fins up, baby. Fins up. Dolphins fan right here. Carolina Panthers will be at 30. That's right. Kitty go meow. Not this kitty. This kitty got pounded down this past week as they took on the Falcons. They lose 38-20. The defense, not great. There's no pass rush to be had. I think the leading pass rusher there was Charles Harris. Ugh, sheesh. But yeah, they're just a bad team. I could, quite frankly, I could see the Panthers dropping down to 32 relatively soon. And then ahead of them at 29, you have to put the Cleveland Browns, right? You have to. As long as Deshaun Watson remains your starting quarterback, as long as this offense remains looking just piss poor. And I mean, they've had some injuries this year, especially along the offensive line. They've had some on the defense. Browns feel like they're just in a, while I don't think they're worse than the teams right now I have behind them. Again, Dolphins, until Tua's healthy, I feel like maybe the Dolphins could overtake the Browns, but like, considering the talent they have on, like the Browns have on that team, they shouldn't be here. They shouldn't be here. I'm gonna have the Tennessee Titans right ahead of the Browns, and I'm doing it for the memes, man. I'm doing it for the memes. Will Levis is a walking meme machine. Am I right? Ha 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 ha. Oh man, out there hurting people along the sideline, gruesome. But every week, man, it's something new with him. Every week, they end up losing to the Joe Flacco-led Colts. And each and every game, I buy more and more into like, oh man, Brian Callahan's probably going to get his quarterback in the draft this year. I really hope this quarterback draft starts to look a little bit more elite. And then at 27, I got the Las Vegas Raiders, who just traded away Davante Adams. We kind of know who they are. They're a gritty team, but we have seen them come out and just kind of flounder. I know that they got some injuries here and there, but I think it might be a rough rest of the year for the Raiders. And then I got one more team in this tier. Of course, it's got to be the Jacksonville Jaguars. Maybe I'm just done believing. Maybe I'm just done believing in the Jags. Like, and I mean, you've had multiple players come out. You've had Doug Peterson himself come out and be like, man, yeah, we need to change the culture here. Things don't feel good in the locker room right now. You had Andre Sisco come out. It's like, it felt like some of our boys quit on us in the second half of that game. Listen, like, Trevor Lawrence wasn't helped out. Like, he was hitting some shots, wasn't helped out this past week by his playmakers. I think he had, was it 4 dropped balls? Like, 2 of them may have been touchdowns. Let me just pull that up right now. But the defense is not great either. Ronald Darby is getting toasted on the regular. It's not fun. It's just not. Yeah, 4 drops. He had 2 from Gabe Davis, despite him having 2 touchdowns. I believe he had a Bryant Thomas touchdown drop. Christian Kirk had a drop. Like, listen, I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence is perfect, because he's certainly not, but he was definitely more on point. He was definitely more on point in this game. And it didn't matter. It just didn't matter. And the defense is just bad. So it's like them having to come from behind is just something I can't conceive. Let's move on to these plucky underdogs. And I'm going to start with the G-Men, the New York Giants. Not a good team. Not a good team, but they're fascinating. You're going to get Malik Neighbors back healthy. Tyrone Tracy's shown some good things. Daniel Jones, he's going to be a roller coaster ride. That's just the Daniel Jones experience, unfortunately. And low-key, I think this defense is playing really good football, like really solid football. It sucks that KT, he's going to be on IR for the next few weeks because of his wrist. But, like, low-key, if you didn't know, like, the defense isn't bad there for the Giants. It's not. Right ahead of the Giants at 24, I'm going to have the Los Angeles Hospital Rams. This team's hurt. It's banged up until they're healthy. They're nothing but plucky. Like, hey, they're gritty. They'll compete in some games, but ultimately, you're not healthy enough to win these games. That's just kind of the fact. Maybe they'll be more healthy after this bye. Arizona Cardinals coming in at 23. Listen, I told you Cardinals fans, man. Like, prior to the season, a lot of y'all didn't want to believe me. I was like, I feel like this defense isn't good. And I feel like that was not a hot take. I said, I think this is a team that's going to have to win a lot of shootouts. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think offensively they can. I don't think they're built that way just yet. And I'm just going to say facts. I don't know. Maybe Cardinals fans, you could be a little bit more nicer in my comments when I do a deep dive on your team. You could disagree with me. But hey, no need for the verbal violence. Nah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just having fun with you. I just feel like I need to start keeping receipts. I'm not good at keeping receipts, man. I'm just out here trying to talk football. I'm just some guy on the internet giving my football opinion. It's not that serious, guys. It's not that serious. All right, at 22. Colts, congratulations. You got to win. But when Anthony Richardson comes back, is this team good? I don't know if they're good. I know the defense isn't great. But offensively, when Jonathan Taylor's back healthy, Anthony Richardson, when he's back healthy, like, are they going to be good, or is it like, oh no, this team functions better offensively with Joe Flacco? But I mean, when AR is healthy, like, you got to bring him back. Of course, he's your franchise quarterback for now. But can he be more consistent on the throw-to-throw basis? It's $1 million question. Denver Broncos coming in at 21. They're plucky, man. Hey, they were down, what, 20-23 against the Chargers, rallied back, tried to make it a close game. Listen, the defense is great. It's phenomenal for the Broncos. Offensively, each and every week, they're going to be figuring things out. Bo Nix, this week, things didn't look so hot. He had moments here and there, but all in all, still looks every part of being a rookie. At number 20, the New Orleans Saints, how the mighty have fallen. Hey, positive, Spencer Rattler, it looked all right. The negative, I don't know what happened to the defense. The offensive line's still going to be a problem. Week in, week out. Chris Olave, I think, now had the concussion. So it's like, listen. There's some concerns. You started the year hot. And now it's starting to go downhill. Things are coming off the rails. I do have one more team in this Plucky Underdogs, and it feels weird calling them Plucky Underdogs, but it's the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think they're underdogs. They're just hurt. Well, they're not just hurt. They're playing bad football. There's no balance to this offense. They can't run the football. Everyone knows it. It kind of is what it is. Dak is not playing great, but I don't think he's playing bad. He's playing well enough to, for the most part, keep his team in games against, I would say, mid-tier teams. That wasn't the case, unfortunately, this weekend against Detroit. Detroit, a significantly better team. Smashed them. On Jerry's birthday, nonetheless. But Micah Parsons, I don't know how long he will be out for. Doesn't seem that serious. Not that it doesn't seem that serious, but it seems like the Cowboys anticipate him to be back in the next week or so, or else they would have probably put him on IR like they did with DeMarcus Lawrence. All right, let's move on to these playoff chasers. And listen, the Jets made the move today, and I know I'll update this logo when I get time. I keep forgetting. So if you're mad about the logo, I know that there's one person in the comment section mad about the logo. I don't know. Get over it. Quit getting caught in your feels. Grow up. Be a real person. Don't be mad about a logo. Listen. Don't be mad. Be an adult. Grow a pair. Oh, I like pears. Pears are pretty delicious. But the Jets, listen, they made the move to Davante Adams. We'll find out. We'll find out a lot about them going in the next 5 games. we'll find out if they can stay in this realm or if they end up falling. Seattle Seahawks, speaking of fallen, they've lost the last 3. Defense needs to get healthy. Offensively, they've lost their identity. Not identity. There's no balance. They don't run the football now consistently. Like, they've really leaned into the passing game a lot. Like, it's not as neat as it was even 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, we'll see what's up with the Seahawks the next few weeks. But they're going to sit here at 17. I got the Chargers here at 16. I don't know how much I want to buy into the Chargers, but like Herbert, they let him throw, they let him sling, and hey, fun fact, he looked all right doing so. You got other guys starting to emerge, like Kamani Vidal. He ended up having a receiving touchdown in this game. Good for him. Very nice. The defense is still hella good, and I don't know how. I'm gonna be frank with y'all guys. I have no idea how this defense, considering the parts that it has, how are they playing such good football? And it's not like Joey Bosa's missed the last few games. I get it. Khalil Mack, he's still playing good football. But you've had guys like Elijah Molden. For goodness sake, Christian Fulton, we've counted this guy out. Granted, part of that is he didn't play well last year, but also he's kind of been known to get hurt. But he's playing really good this season. He really, really is. Look at some of the other parts, like freaking Dion Henley. Hello, welcome to the NFL. He's out here just making plays. And I mean, dude, Asante Samuel Jr., another guy that just went to IR, and they're still out there just doing their thing, man, playing good defense. Like Bud Dupree's out there getting sacks and pressures. What reality am I living in? Golly, dude. Props to the Chargers. Okay, at number 15, I'm gonna put the Cincinnati Bengals. They're 2-4, and I feel like I say this every year, as long as Joe Burrow is healthy, and thank goodness he is. Did have a trip to the medical tent Sunday night. But hey, I don't care about the defense. That's not fair. I care about the defense. But as long as this offense can sling the football, as long as Joe Burrow's healthy, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, hey, I'm never counting out the Bengals. I'm just not. I did that a couple of years ago, and they went on a tear at the end of the season, made the playoffs, and then had a substantial run in the playoffs. I'm just not doing it. Just not. At number 14, I got the Chicago Bears. Heck yeah. Caleb Williams, he just keeps looking better and better each and every week, and you just love to see it, man. You just love to see it. The offense is looking, I get it, they're playing the Jags, but still, man, things are looking good. Things are looking promising. The defense is hella good. I mean, they were down, Tyreek Stevenson, Kyler Gordon got hurt in that game, and still they did a good job of limiting what the Jags can do. The defense is hella good. At number 13, I got the Philadelphia Eagles. Ugh. Oh, guys. I don't know how to feel about the Eagles. Jalen Hurts, are you broken? My friend? How do y'all only beat the Browns 20-16? And it's not even like Hurts played bad. He was just inaccurate. I know his completion percentage, 64%. You look at that and you're like, oh, that's not all that bad. Adjusted completion percentage that takes out drops, spikes, throwaways, 66.7. So yeah, not that much better than what his actual completion percentage is. Typically, you want that number at least above 70. But why aren't they running the football? I feel like I get it. The run game wasn't necessarily working all that well, but why get away from that? Like, you just need Saquon to hit that one big shot, right? Jordan Mailata went down with a hamstring injury, might miss a few games, and suddenly Fred Johnson just sucks. Like, I thought he was an all right backup, but man, last couple of games he's had to play in, not been the finest, if I say so myself. They just haven't. Woof, woof, woof. At 12, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yo, guys, listen. Yo, listen. If they're moving to Russell, I don't know. I get it. Justin Fields. It's not been pretty, but he's been able to get it done. He's gotten this team to 4-2. He's been a big part of that. What he can do with his legs adds a big element to this Arthur Smith offense. You're going to give Russell Wilson. I get it. Russell Wilson's probably the better passer at this juncture, but I don't think I'd make this. I don't think I'd make the decision just yet. And to be fair, I don't think they've made the decision just yet, but Russell Wilson will be getting first team snaps. I don't know if that just means he's going to get a bunch of them, a majority, maybe a minority of them. I don't know. That's yet to be seen. We'll see how the practice week looks, but let's go ahead and move on to these legit playoff teams. And in defeat, I think the Commanders showed me enough to where I'm like, yeah, no, this team could be in the playoffs. This team should make the playoffs. Like, they can make and compete in the playoffs. Like, Jane Daniels is playing phenomenal football. Like, it doesn't matter how far they get behind. He provides a spark and can bring them back. The defense is playing. They're playing above their weight limit, their weight class, their weight, I guess, limit. I don't know what the term is. I can't remember. But their weight class, I think that's it. I don't know how long this lasts. And I'm not saying they're like playing good, but they're playing significantly better than I thought they would. They had a big hit with Jonathan Allen out for, I think, the remainder of the year. I think that's what it was, but at least he's got to miss significant time. So, like, they're going to have to win some shootouts here and there, but, like, I'm buying into it. I'm buying into the Commanders. Ahead of them, speaking of shootouts, I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield. Yeah, absolute legend. I never gave up hope. I never lost hope, Baker. And here he is, slinging, man, putting 51 up on the Saints. Love to see. I don't think Tom Brady put up 51 on the Saints. Just putting that out there. Hopefully Mike Evans is all right. Didn't look. See how bad the injury was or how not bad it was. I'm going to follow up with that later today. But yeah, no, this Bucs team, they look fun and legit. I got the Atlanta Falcons right ahead of them. They beat the Panthers. Of course, they're going to beat the Panthers, is what it is. But the offense is looking so much better than it did to start the year. Kirk Cousins looking great. The run game looks unstoppable. The defense will figure it out. The defense will figure it out. But these are your two top teams in the NFC South. At number 8, I'm going to have the Green Bay Packers. Again, they're probably going to steadily move up this list. Big game this week against the Vikings. That could do a world of wonders. But this was probably the most complete the offense has looked, to be fair. I think the last couple of weeks they've looked pretty complete. Though in that Rams game, you had Jordan Love kind of like regress to what he looked like at the beginning of the 2023 season. It was kind of weird. It was like at the beginning of the game, started out hot. It was like, yes, this is the Jordan Love they paid all this money. And then it was like, oh, no, this is what we saw at the beginning of 2023, where it was like, oh, the accuracy's all over the place. And, oh, the decision-making... Why would you throw that pick six in your end zone? Why would you throw that ball? Why would you Will Levis it? But then he finished the game looking like, oh, okay, this is the guy you paid. In this whole game, in this one, he looked like the guy that they paid. Like, you love to see it. The defense is playing well. The edge room, though, I'm just like, man, I don't know what's not clicking. They just aren't consistently getting pressure. But luckily, the interiors come alive. Some of the blitz packages have done a good job of being able to get after it. So it's A-okay. We're good. We're good here. Buffalo Bills are going to be at 7. Wasn't all that pretty last night. The winds were crazy, so the kickers had a tough time. Gave up that Hail Mary. That wasn't great. Officiating wasn't great. But hey, you were down James Cook. You got the win. I'm never going to discount Josh Allen. Buffalo team. To me, they are still the leaders in the AFC East. And then I'm going to have the best 3-3 team in the NFL in the San Francisco 49ers, looking more like their usual selves, though injuries have really decimated this team. Really has. Like, if you think about it, like CMC, you had Jordan Mason go down for a little bit in this game. If you want to jump to the defense, like, it's all over the place, man. Malik Mustafa going down in this game. They lost Javon Hargrove like a week or so ago. Their safety room is actually all kinds of beat up. So I think despite that, them still go out, play their game, and look good. I think they're like, honestly, if they were healthier, they would be in this tier for me, but they're not. At number 5, I got the Houston Texans. They did their thing. They beat a not particularly good Patriots team. CJ Stroud looked great. Awesome. Love to see it. You love to see it. It's a good team. I think they're legit. People got mad at me for my prediction prior to the season just because I thought they had a relatively hard schedule. That I thought they'd probably be closer. I'm not saying they were like a 500 team. I think I had them at 10-7. But it was a team I thought was like, hey, they're probably going to make the playoffs, even if it is just by the skin of their teeth, just because of how hard the schedule is. But I think being so battle tested that they're going to go in and make a significant run in the playoffs. Like, I feel like this is what the Detroit Lions did last year. This can be that season for the Texans. Speaking of the Detroit Lions, I did drop them a spot despite a win because, well, they lost Aiden Hutchinson. He broke his tibia and fibula and is probably out for the season. Dan Campbell was like, hey, it's not out of the possibility for him to return. I get it, never say never, but I think maybe he can return if this team makes a Super Bowl. Because I think it's like a 4 to 6 month recovery. And 4 months would, well, that puts you at Super Bowl time. So, but hey, that offense was freaking fun. Baltimore Ravens, I'm going to have them here at number 3. You could argue they're at number 2, but they're a 2-loss team. They looked good this week. The defense, I think there's still some questions here and there, but like, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry is just freaking scary, dude. Defenses are going to see them in their nightmares week in and week out. Vikings, they're still undefeated. They're coming off a bye. Big game this week against the Packers. I'm very excited to watch that game. But they're doing enough, man. Hopefully Aaron Jones can come back from, I think it's a hip injury. Hopefully it's not too serious. Oh, look at that. I'm just getting news. Jets are planning to make Mike Williams available for trade after acquiring Davante Adams. Yep, Aaron Rodgers is running that team, guys. He's running that team. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. Listen, they're your reigning, defended, undisputed champions of the NFL. And simply the regular season doesn't really matter to them. Doesn't matter how they look in the regular season because they're going to be at least offensively, they're going to be a different team. As this defense, they're doing their job and they're like, hey, we'll get y'all some wins as the offense figures things out and gets healthier. But by the time the playoffs come around, they're definitely a more complete team. But I say all that and they are also undefeated, so yeah, I'm just saying, best team in the NFL. They deserve to be so. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Here, these are my power rankings. I'm sure they're not perfect. I'm sure you got opinions about them, and I want to hear them. Let me know in the comment section below. But as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.